have a very, very saddening statistics. Our children are dying much younger than the parents. Why? Because of the incidence of obesity and diabetes. We all know that this is rising. How can we put a stop to this? How can you as parents learn how to give your children the right information to keep them healthy for a long time? My name is Dr. Cooper Dockery, and welcome to Get Healthy.
Welcome to Get Healthy with Dr. Cooper. Discover the secrets to amazing health and longevity. Learn how lifestyle medicine, the vaccine for chronic diseases, can profoundly influence mind and body. Learn simple solutions such as healthy nutrition, exercise, strong family bonding, stress management, and spiritual renewal will empower you to live a longer, healthier, and more abundant life. And now, here's Dr. Donna Cooper.
All right, very good. So in our show today, you're going to meet David. David was a teacher for many years, but he decided to get away from the classroom and to teach the world. So he wrote a book on diabetes. Why are children dying from diabetes? What should they eat? How should they exercise? I read the book and I really fell in love with the book. You're going to do the same. And I have some parents here on the show. Welcome, guys. You're going to have fun today because this is a simple show. And the important thing is to educate. So we have some parents here, and we're going to talk a little bit about how we can keep our children healthy so they could live forever. Do you think they could live forever? Maybe so. All right, so Chef Edgar,
Hey,
I want to welcome you again. Our audience know you very well. You're always here with us, right?
It's a lot of fun being here, and as you know, as everybody knows at home, I love this health message, and now that we're talking about our children, is very, very important.
Right, because you're a parent, right?
Exactly.
How old is your son?
He's 10 months, so
And he's quite active, right?
very much active.
Excellent. And you want to see him live until he's 100, no?
A little longer than I will live, so yes.
There you go, Edgar. Tell me, why do you think children are eating so unhealthily? What's going on there?
The reason why that I believe we as parents are at fault as well. Mm-hmm. We make it very easy for them to eat this unhealthy food. Mm-hmm. We go through the drive-through to the fast food, a lot of sugars, a lot of salt, and we make it very convenient for our children to eat these kinds of foods.
That's right. So you said a lot of sugar.
Exactly.
Do you know that today the average American consumes 141 pounds of sugar per year?
Wow.
Can you see what that is? 141 pounds? That's astounding. And fat. We consume 87 pounds of fat a year. Do you see why we have diabetes?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the reason we're having diabetes. It's actually our diet. Now, I know that sometimes parents don't have the time to cook, but this is a problem. Tell me, Rosalinda, what are some of the other reasons why you think our children are consuming these fast foods and these foods that are filled with fats and sugar?
I believe because, we live in such a fast-paced life where both parents are working, and we pick up from fast food all the time. Unfortunately, we're in such a rush that we're not paying attention to what we're feeding our kids.
That's right.
McDonald's,
fast foods. In general. Right.
It's not good. And we are no longer cooking at home. Mm-hmm. That's a major problem. We don't have time. We get out of work late. We run for practice, take our kids out. And you know what? We pick up this or that. And I believe that is causing our kids to gain weight. We're constantly not exercising because we are so attracted to our iPhones, our iPads. Mm-hmm. That is causing our children not to exercise, and I think that's what it is.
Yeah, let's go back to the food, because studies have shown that 80% of our problems, 80% of the disease-causing problems really is assigned to the food we consume. Someone said we are actually what we eat, and that is a problem. Now, I think as parents, we should have healthy foods at home. We have to change our pantry. If the children have chips at home and fried this and fried that, what's going to happen? They're going to reach out to what is at home. What do you think, Lillian, about what we're, consuming and the kids are consuming? What are your thoughts?
I think it's because, in addition to what they said, a lot of these kids, they see what we adults been doing in our lives, and we are the big influence to them. Regardless, they're living with parents or any adult, what they see, what they have at home, and then what they see in the television, the magazine, wherever, it's a big influence to them. To them, it's cool to be having this, and it is better than what you have at home. And also, I believe that we, the parents, the adults, we should set a good example to them. No matter how busy we are, we should educate ourselves how we should prepare nutritious food.
Better role models, right?
Yes. And actually, it's not expensive. If we
No.
know where to get it, and then we cook it, how we cook them. A lot of food like potato, they are good, but we make them into complicated one to be like unhealthy ones. You fry
Exactly.
them, but we know how to prepare them. And then, these kids, they are so observant. They are so smart. If you teach them about the benefit of eating healthier food and how to prepare them, explaining to them why we have to do it this way, and these kids gonna pick up, that becomes their habit.
That's right.
Yes.
You mentioned role model. I'm going to give you a story. So a young man walked into my office one day and he said to me, "Hey, Dr. Cooper, I lost 35 pounds. I said, "How did you do that?" He said, "Dr. Cooper, I took up one of your Get Healthy magazine, and that's where it began. And then my 3-year-old daughter is asking for kale smoothie. Can you imagine that?" So we have to model, correct? We have to make sure we have the right food on the table, correct? We need to make sure that we have our salads, green leafy vegetables on the table. We have to consume that for the children to learn that, hey, this is healthy, so I need to consume it as well. But if we're taking them to the restaurant and we're ordering the deep fried foods and the dessert with a lot of sugar, then what are they going to eat? Come on, guys. Come on. What are they going to eat? They're going to do the same thing we're doing. We're going to be right back with more on Get Healthy with Dr. Cooper and how to save our children from diabetes.
Now it's our turn to take care of those who saw and helped us grow. Their time is valuable. It is time to think of a professional staff who will help take care of them. We at PalliMed Hospice and Palliative Care are the right choice. Our staff and 24/7 services are trusted and reliable. Call us. We are the solution you and your family need. We understand you. We are PalliMed Hospice and Palliative Care.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited to bring to you today a young man who has changed his profession just to save our kids. You all know that chronic diseases, diabetes, heart disease, kidney failure is now causing so much problem with even the young children. David Norick, a teacher, now an author, has decided to take control, and he has written a brand new book which he's going to tell you about. David, welcome to Get Healthy with Dr. Cooper.
Dr. Cooper, good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
David, you told me that you were a teacher,
Yes, ma'am.
and now you have given that all up because you want to save our kids.
Yes, it's very important to, especially with obesity and diabetes, to start at the foundation, which is with our children, and change their mindset, educate them, and hopefully they don't have to go through the same things that we've had to go through, or our parents or our siblings as well.
Alrighty. First, tell me about yourself, David. Where did you teach? What did you teach?
I taught mainly elementary or junior high. I've taught it in McAllen and Sherryland. And, throughout the years, teaching different kids, they come in and And it was shocking to see that some kids, or an alarming rate of them, had weight problems, and some even came in with diabetes.
Right.
And it's very sad to see them have to go through something like that at such a young age.
That's right. I agree with you. Living in South Texas, it's a problem because we are the number one in terms of areas for obesity. And with obesity comes diabetes.
Yes, ma'am.
So now you've given up teaching in the classroom and you want to teach worldwide, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
With
That's
now
correct.
your new book. Tell me, what is the title of the book?
The title of the book is The Adventures of Exo and Psi, and it's a play on the word exercise. Because as children or even adults read the book, they get an actual exercise workout from reading the book.
I saw that. I was amazed. I said, this guy's smart. I love how you integrated exercise in your book. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
But you also told me that most of your family members are diabetic. Am I right?
That's correct. Everyone, including myself, I in fact was diagnosed with diabetes after I finished writing the book. And in 2013, I lost my brother to diabetes.
How old was your brother?
My brother was, I believe, 60.
Okay.
And then the following year, I lost my sister as well to diabetes.
Sorry about that.
Yes, ma'am. And I've seen one of my sisters go through dialysis, amputations, and gone blind because of diabetes and because we don't take care of ourselves.
That's
so
right.
it's a very important topic to myself, my family, and to everybody here in the Rio Grande Valley.
And the world now.
And the world,
The
yes.
shows goes worldwide.
Yes, and the world.
So we want to reach the worldwide platform because diabetes is not only a problem in the United States, but it's a problem just about every place. Obesity too is a problem everywhere. Tell us a little bit about your book. I was reading about fast food, the way you played on fast food, the way you worked in the exercise. Tell us what the readers are going to see in the book.
Well, what the readers are going to see is in this book specifically, the main villain, his name is Chip, and his dog Nacho. So this first book, is combating the harmful effects of potato chips.
Right.
And all throughout the city, you see that obesity, in fact, the mayor of, or the children live in the city called OB City, which stands for obesity. And the mayor of OB City, her name is Diabetes, which stands for diabetes. So everywhere along the city, you see traces of either unhealthy foods or restaurants or things like that, things that children and adults need to combat, especially with diabetes.
That's right. I love that. And then who was the good man in the book there? Because you had the bad man with the chips and
Yes.
the nacho.
Yes.
Right. But the good man in the book, tell us about that.
The real good guy in the book, his name is Chief Will Ness, which stands for wellness. And, you know, at the very end of the series, this is going to be a series of books. At the very end, he is actually going to take over. He's going to defeat Mayor Diabetes, and he's going to turn obesity into a healthy city, like it should be.
I love that. Tell our audience, what do you hope to get out of this book?
I hope that children of all ages, that includes adults, I hope that people, not just here in the Rio Grande Valley, not just here in the state of Texas, not just in the United States, but around the world, because this is a global problem. My hope is that everybody reading this book can get to the root of the problem, because we can't, if we have weeds in our gardens, we can't just chop them off at the very top. We got to go to the root. And in this case, we have to educate our children, prevent them from diseases such as diabetes, and do everything we can to get them living a healthy lifestyle.
Very good. David, I want to thank you so much for coming to the show. I want to thank you so much for dedicating your life now to teaching our parents, our teachers, and our children that healthy lifestyle is the way to go.
Yes.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, these are lifestyle diseases. And if we can get to the root causes, which is our diet, the lack of exercise, then we will be able to decrease the incidence of all these diseases. We're going to be right back, so don't go away. David, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's right.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes. And way over here, busy moms. No?
Welcome back to Get Healthy with Dr. Cooper. Today we're discussing saving our children from diabetes. And you've listened to the book on diabetes with David Norwick. The book is going to be out pretty soon. And I have a group of parents here telling us how we can get our kids to exercise and to eat healthy and to live forever, right? So, studies have shown that in the United States, 75% of the population do not exercise. And we all know that for a healthy lifestyle, we do need to combine healthy nutrition, but exercise is also medicine. So I have a teacher here, Roxy. You have a child, Roxy. How old is your baby?
10 months.
10 months. Do you get this child moving or he's always sitting down?
No, he's very active.
Excellent.
Yes.
That's important because we know that for us to decrease obesity and decrease the risk for diabetes, exercise is good. So tell me, how do you think you're going to get your child to exercise and how do you get your students to move?
I think encouraging them to be more active, maybe encouraging them to play a sport. And also, it has to do a lot with the parents. And I would like to tell you or share a story with you.
Go ahead, Roxy.
We had a student in our school that would not like to go to PE, right? And she told the parent would complain and complain about it. So they sat her down for that year. And then the following year, the parent came back and told us that the daughter had diabetes.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so I think encouraging your child or pushing you to move has to do a lot with it.
Great story, Roxy. I love that story. We do know that exercise will decrease the blood sugar. How does that happen? When someone exercises, the muscle needs energy. The muscle therefore going to use the sugar for energy. And therefore, if the muscle is using the sugar, what do you think is going to happen to the sugar? Come on, guys. It's going to go down. Exercise also increases the sensitivity of the insulin. So insulin becomes more powerful and therefore will take more sugar from the blood into the cells. So that's how we can actually use exercise as medicine. That's a very sad story. Lorena, you have 2 boys and you're a healthcare provider.
Yes, I do.
All right. How do you plan to help them to stay healthy?
So I try to bring them outside. I try to play with them. There's a lot of games also on Pinterest that they tell you, things to do to play with them, to learn also, and just to play outside. Even if they're just running back and forth, they have fun with it, which is good for them and healthy for them.
Right.
Like Dr. Cooper said, you want to stay active. Anything you eat is going to increase your sugars, but the more that you're exercising, the more that you're active, that's going to bring the sugars down, which helps prevent diseases.
That's right.
It's very important.
I agree, Lorena. And studies have also shown that the children that are more active, they tend to perform better academically. Yes. So exercise will improve the intelligence. So exercise is very vital for us to encourage the children to exercise so they can be healthier, but also for them to do better in school. Don't you agree?
Exactly.
All righty. So go ahead, Lorena.
That you bring that up, exercising. I always tell my patients that actually increases your happy proteins. So by exercising, it actually can decrease your risk of getting depression, anxiety. So the more that you exercise, you're also helping yourself in that sense as well.
Beautiful,
which is great.
beautiful. Exercise increases your endorphin level. Endorphin is the happy hormone, and therefore it will decreases the incidence of depression and loneliness and sadness. Exercise is important. Now in our day, we can see that a lot of children with a screen in front of them. Studies have shown that the children will spend more than 11 hours a day in front of a screen. What are the screens? Television, what else?
The phone,
Cell
iPad.
phone, the iPhone, and all of that. We have to encourage the children to get away from the screen. And before the show, Chef Edgar gave a story about exercise, how we can have the kids doing more exercise. You mentioned about moving them from the screen. As parents, we need to make sure that they have screen time. So if we're going to say, all right, they're going to watch television from 7 to 8 only, then we're going to go outside and we're going to do a game. That's another way of encouraging the children to exercise. Chef, you had a story.
Yeah, there's this network that had an amazing idea. From a certain time to a certain time, they would shut their channel down. And it would say, we'll see you back once you're done playing, which allowed the child to not see cartoons, but you know what? There's no cartoons. The only option was to go outside and play. We see a lot of sports now that have Play 60 that encourages kids to play for 60 minutes, at least for 60 minutes a day. And I think as parents, we should pick that up. Many times we say, well, it's because they're bored, they want to see cartoons. Well, let's play with them. We too could use the exercise.
I agree. I love that story. That's why I asked the chef to bring it forward. So you can do the same thing, parents. And you parents here in the studio today, make sure that you limit the exposure to television. The kids will come home from school and they sit there for 4 hours. That is unhealthy. So let's limit their screen time so they can exercise. I think it's time for a break. Don't you agree? We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. Talk with your doctor to create a plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
All right, welcome back. You are watching Get Healthy with Dr. Cooper, and we are here discussing how we can save our kids from diabetes. We discuss unhealthy lifestyles such as diet, fast food, and lack of exercise. Now we're going to go to something a little easier. How can we help you as parents to keep your children healthy? Now we do know that the number one risk factor for diseases, it's the food you consume. Chef, how would you advise our audience to increase healthy food in their children's diet?
Us as parents, we have to incorporate more fruits and veggies. There's a million ways to do veggies. There's a million ways to do fruits. We have to incorporate that into our children. Why? Because as everybody says, you are what you eat. Okay, and you have to put good food in your system. Food is fuel, like I've said before, and we don't want to put cheap food in our system because then we're going to feel like that, and we don't want our children to feel like that as well. We as adults have felt it before. When we eat unhealthy foods, our children are going to feel it 10 times worse.
Right.
So what can we do? Incorporate more fruits. Have the snacks for our children be fruits and vegetables.
I like that. I like that. And I would also suggest, a lot of children do not like vegetables. So I suggest that we can do a green smoothie in the morning. Then we know we're dumping in a lot of vegetables. Another thing, we can do soups, vegetable soups, and encourage them to consume that. And of course, our salad should be on the table. And as I mentioned earlier on, we as parents need to consume the salads as well, and then they will walk in our footsteps. So parents out there, remember, you need to model a healthy lifestyle and your children will do the same. We have a healthcare provider here. She has 2 boys, but she also has a lot of patients in her practice. Lorena, with this unhealthy lifestyle, what are you seeing in your practice? Do you see a lot of young people with diabetes?
Yes, unfortunately we do. and it's unfortunate. Like I said, one of the risk factors that we're seeing is that, like you said, the patients are living an unhealthy lifestyle with eating habits, but also their exercise. They're not exercising. So with them increasing in their weight, that unfortunately can give rise to them getting high cholesterol. They could also get blood pressure from their diabetes. Unfortunately, with diabetes, as we all know, or some of you might not, it can affect the vision, it can affect the heart, your liver, your kidneys.
The kidneys,
you
the
can
circulation.
end up in dialysis. You know, just the sensation that you have, that can be affected by diabetes. Not only that, but you know, we're seeing that the young individuals, if they're unfortunately increasing in their weight levels, they can be bullied at school. From there, they can get depression, anxiety, even suicidal thoughts. Unfortunately, that we're seeing a lot of nowadays.
Great point. Very good point, Lorena, because we tend to emphasize only the diabetes and the heart disease, but we never usually emphasize the psychological effect that the obesity can have on the patient. Even the diabetes, because some kids who have type 1, they have to use insulin. And that is a problem with them at school and with their friends. So parents, remember that type 2 diabetes is a diabetes of lifestyle. Type 2 diabetes can be prevented or reversed using healthier lifestyle. Last week in my office, I had a young lady coming in. She was like 32 years old. She came to me on a stretcher. She had no limbs. She was blind. Can you imagine that? What type of life that person's going to live, quality of life. So if you're listening to me right now, you're listening to us, and you are a parent, remember that you are actually what you eat. Your health is in your hands. You can take control of your health. Don't depend on the primary care doctors and your providers. That is the reason why we have this program, to empower you to live a healthier lifestyle. You need to take control so that you can prevent diabetes, obesity, cancer, and all of these diseases. I know that it's difficult sometimes, but you've listened to all these parents, and they have given you examples and clues that you can use at home to keep your children healthy. So listen and follow us, and we are always available for you. And you know what? In the Bible it says that train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Parents, you are the role model. You are the teacher. So you need to take control of your children. We'll see you again, same time, same place. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Bravo. Thank you.
This broadcast was sponsored by Cooper Wellness Center and Faithful Path International Ministries. For more information on how to become a patient or a sponsor, please contact us at 1-844-343-8935 or visit our website www.cooperwellnesscenter.com.